Hello, my friends. It fills my heart with joy to see each of you here today, gathered with the intention to seek inner peace, self-growth, and inspiration. You have already taken an important step by coming here, showing that you value your journey and are willing to invest time in understanding yourself better. Tonight, I wish to share with you the profound wisdom of learning to trust yourself, a journey that is deeply rooted in the teachings of Buddhism and essential for a life of peace and fulfillment. Trust is like a seed. When planted in fertile soil, nurtured with care, and allowed to grow in its own time, it becomes a mighty tree. But if we constantly doubt the seed, dig it up to check its progress, or fail to water it, it will never take root. Trusting yourself begins with planting the seed of belief in your own abilities, decisions, and inner wisdom. Buddha once said, "You yourself must strive. The Buddhas only point the way." This wisdom reminds us that while guidance is invaluable, the ultimate trust in our journey must come from within. It is we who must walk the path, make the choices, and embrace the lessons that come our way. Let me share with you a story from the Buddhist tradition. There was once a young disciple who wished to cross a wide and treacherous river to reach the monastery on the other side. He stood at the riverbank, paralyzed with fear, doubting his ability to swim across. The current was strong, and the water seemed endless. An old monk approached him and said, "The river is not your enemy. It will carry you if you trust it." But the young disciple hesitated, unsure of himself. The monk then asked, "Do you trust your breath? Do you trust your body to move in harmony with the water?" Encouraged by the monk's words, the disciple took a deep breath, entered the river, and began to swim. With each stroke, he found the current less intimidating and his body more capable than he had believed. He reached the other side, filled with a newfound trust in himself. This story teaches us that trust in oneself often begins with trust in the natural flow of life. When we align ourselves with the present moment and accept our inner capabilities, we can cross even the most daunting rivers. Doubt is the biggest obstacle to self-trust. It whispers lies in our ears, telling us that we are not good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. In Buddhism, doubt is one of the 5 hindrances that prevent us from achieving enlightenment. Yet, Buddha also taught that doubt can be a teacher if we face it with mindfulness and inquiry. Consider the story of Siddhartha Gautama, who became the Buddha. Before his enlightenment, he sat beneath the Bodhi tree, facing the onslaught of Mara, the embodiment of doubt and fear. Mara tried to convince Siddhartha that he was unworthy of enlightenment, that his efforts were futile. But Siddhartha did not run from these doubts. Instead, he observed them with clarity and calmness. He touched the earth and said, "The earth is my witness," grounding himself in truth and unwavering self-trust. When doubts arise in your own life, do not let them paralyze you. Observe them as you would passing clouds. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Does it serve me? Often you will find that doubt is nothing more than a fleeting shadow, powerless against the light of your awareness. Self-trust does not come overnight. It is a practice, much like meditation or mindfulness. Here are some ways you can nurture it. 1. Mindful reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your thoughts and actions. Celebrate the moments when you acted with integrity and compassion, and forgive yourself for any mistakes. 2. Silence and solitude. In silence, you can hear the whispers of your inner wisdom. Spend time alone, away from distractions, and listen to what your heart is telling you. 3. Faith in the process. Trust that every experience, whether joyful or painful, is part of your growth. As the Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we make the world. Choose thoughts that build trust in your journey. 4. Compassionate self-talk. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend. When you make a mistake, remind yourself that it is part of being human. In Buddhism, the middle way is a path of balance, avoiding extremes and finding harmony in all aspects of life. Self-trust is no different. It requires balancing humility with confidence, self-awareness with self-acceptance. When we walk the middle way, we trust ourselves not from arrogance but from a deep connection to our true nature. One of my favorite stories illustrating this is the parable of the lute. A monk asked the Buddha how to maintain his meditation practice. The Buddha responded, "If the strings of a lute are too tight, they will break. If they are too loose, they will not play. Tune the strings just right. Similarly, when we trust ourselves, we must not tighten the strings of perfectionism, nor loosen them with complacency. Instead, we find the sweet spot where effort and ease coexist. Trusting yourself also enhances your relationships with others. When you trust your own intentions and values, you are less likely to seek validation or fear rejection. In the Sigalovada Sutta, the Buddha taught the principles of harmonious relationships, emphasizing trust, mutual respect, and ethical conduct. By embodying these qualities, you inspire trust in others and strengthen the bonds of love and friendship. My dear friends, as we conclude this sharing, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the seeds of trust within you. Are they being nurtured with care, or are they overshadowed by doubt? Remember, the journey of self-trust begins with small, mindful steps. If this sharing has resonated with you, I encourage you to continue exploring these teachings and practices. To support you on this journey, I warmly invite you to subscribe to The Inner Compass, a YouTube channel dedicated to inspiring and guiding individuals like you on the path of self-growth and inner peace. Together, let us cultivate trust in ourselves and in the infinite potential of life. May you walk your path with courage, compassion, and unwavering trust. The light within you is brighter than you know. Trust it, follow it, and let it guide you to a life of peace and fulfillment. Thank you.